Okay. Hi guys, I'm Monica, and I'll start off with since I was little, I was born into a Christian family, and I grew up in church. And coming to church was just kind of like this routine, kind of like school. You have to go. Your parents make you go, but you don't know why. And I guess when I was growing up, I didn't really know why I went to church. I didn't know who God was. And it was just sort of another second life where in school I was Monica, but at church I was a Christian. And I didn't know much about God, but we always learned stories, little of how great He was, but I didn't truly understand. And lived like this up until middle school. And my family was having a hard time, but they were a lot older, so I kind of felt like I didn't know what was going on. And it was really hard because, because I wanted to help, but I didn't know really how to, because my parents were very stressed out and sort of, thanks. My siblings were going through a lot, and I stopped going to church. And I felt very distant from my family in age and from God. And something I always longed for as a child was a close family. But the truth was, it was a broken family. And I felt as though God didn't love me, and I didn't know how to receive His love. But then I realized that through my family and friends, God was showing me how He worked, and kind of realized that He was there the whole time, and that He He puts people through hardships to mold us and grow us. And during this time, I saw all my other friends get baptized. During the year, I stopped coming. And I felt as though I was not a good person. I felt like I wasn't a good Christian and just didn't think I was good enough. But it was more of a process of how God revealed Himself to me, and that it wasn't just one big moment where I realized. And I guess I started coming back to church, and I got to see my friends, and I went to BAF, and I think going there is very helpful because it helps you see the stories of other people. And then I remember this one testimony where this girl, she spoke, and there was nothing really special, but it touched me because I realized that you don't have to go through so much by yourself. You can learn by watching others, and that's what kind of made me realize that God was there the whole time, and He was working in me. And now that I'm up here, I kind of think like, oh, my testimony might not touch people, or it might not be good enough. But I know that God's speaking through me to touch those that also feel that way, because getting baptized and sharing my testimony was just a step in declaring my faith and just sharing God with other people. And it's one of the biggest tools because you don't know who you might touch. Like for me, I think is very relatable for those who just grow up in church as a child and they don't really know what it means to be a Christian. And throughout my life, I remember sharing just like small bits and pieces with the friends around me who are like non-Christian and go to church. And I didn't know how it would touch them, but I think just taking that chance was a way to show my faith in God. And and I realized if I don't take that chance, like now, to share my testimony, I don't know who I could touch. And even though now I understand that God is here and He's around and that He loves me and all of us, I still feel lost, and I always will constantly seek Him. And once you truly accept Christ, it's not like, oh, you're done. You still have to go through hardships, and you still have to look for Him, and there will be highs and lows. And I think He gave me a heart for loving others and realizing how important it is to search for Him, because once you look for Him, He comes looking for you too. And this past year at BAF, I brought my best friend for the first time to BAF. And it was really hard for her to come because she came from a Buddhist family, and that was sort of what held her back. But in the previous years, I've always asked her, and I was constantly praying for her this whole time. And she finally came, and she accepted Christ. It was one of the greatest feelings in my life. And God was showing me how He works and how her coming here and her mom letting her come was not a mistake, and it was all a part of His plan. It was just one of the amazing ways that He shows us how He loves us. And now, currently, I'm so happy to attend a church where I can see my friends and family in a good community that I hope will open up to help bring others outside, not just within this church. And I just highly recommend that everyone just invites their friends. Thank you.